edition of Wednesday Night Horsepower, sponsored by Optima Batteries. It all starts next with a full hour of World of Outlaws.
It was 1 week ago today in Baytown, Texas, at Houston Raceway Park. The king of the Outlaws, Steve Kinser, reached the incredible milestone, winning his 500th World of Outlaws main event. The 18-time series champion passed pole sitter Brooke Catmull, taking the lead on lap number 10. But the real excitement came on the final lap. Donnie Schatz in the number 15 Parker Stores entry gave it everything he had. One mistake, and Kinser would have to wait another day for his history-making moment. Schatz and Kinser to the checkers, with Kinser winning by only a half car length. Afterward, the icon was heard saying, "I'm glad to get this one over so we don't have to hear about it anymore." The only trouble is, the way Kinser has opened the 2004 season, we soon could be talking about the possibility of his winning his 600th. Tonight, from Texas Motor Speedway dirt track, the attention is turned back to the drive for the World of Outlaws Championship on the Outdoor Channel's Wednesday Night Horsepower.
No one driver has dominated this track over the years. Steve Kinser gets the great shot. And we're off and running under green. Top 5 cars make the transfer into the main event. White flag lap.
From Texas Motor Speedway dirt track in Fort Worth, Texas, the World of Outlaws gears it up again with the greatest show on dirt. Hello, everyone. I'm Art Eckman, along with Brad Doty, to bring you the action. Momentum in any sport is a key factor. But how do you take a historic victory in one form of auto racing and cross it over to another form of auto racing with just as much efficiency? Danny Lasowski's trying to do that tonight and here in the World of Outlaws after becoming the first World of Outlaw driver in 10 years to win an IROC race. Last night had to be an emotional high, if nothing else, Danny.
Well, it really was. You know, our season has been stellar so far, but we need to get this thing kicked off tonight, maybe try to win it 2 for 2 over here at Texas Motor Speedway. Last night was a dream come true for me. I spent a lot of time in the IROC cars, as much as they'll let me, practicing and racing the 12 best in the world they have right now. To do that and see Kevin Harvick breathing down your back the whole race, it was something else, and it's something I'll never ever forget.
Totally different animal, though.
Oh, it is. You can't compare. I mean, absolutely nothing compares. So when you do go practice, try to stay in those cars and don't jump back and forth. Is what we try to do.
Well, Danny hopes he can cross over here tonight in the World of Outlaws, because Steve Kinser has dominated every race but 2. Jason Myers winning the second round. And in 2 races ago, Shane Stewart won his very first career World of Outlaw main event. And Brad Doty's with him now.
Shane, I saw that photograph of you when you getting your first win. Man, it looks like you couldn't hardly get out of that car fast enough. Tell me what it's like to get your first win.
Well, I think the photo says it all. It was awesome. I couldn't get out of the car fast enough. I couldn't get my seatbelts off fast enough, and I was trying to think of what I could do to celebrate. You know, I can't do a backflip because I'll probably break my neck, and I couldn't do donuts because of the way the track was, but it was awesome. Very, very cool.
Was it a sense of relief? Just to finally get that one kind of off your back? I mean, you've been close and you've been out here a little while. What is the sense of that?
I think it was a little past due, you know, not to brag or anything, but I've got a great team and great sponsors, and every time we come to the racetrack, I feel like we have a chance to win, and to finally get the first one under our belt. They say the first one's the hardest one to get, so hopefully more of them will come.
Can you even imagine Steve Kinser with 500, you just getting that first? Can you look down the road that far?
Man, I'd tell you what, that's going to be a number that will probably stand for a while, but that's why they call him the King. He is unbelievable, and he's a great competitor and a good friend, and it was cool to be able to say that I was there when he won his 500. So,
well, good luck to you tonight. Maybe you can get that second one. Back to you, Art.
In the battle for the Kevin Gobrick Rookie of the Year honors, Craig Kinser has taken a 125-point lead on Jonathan Allard. And Craig, I know you don't think this early of these things, but you got to think that, hey, this is a great start on the season.
Yes, it has been. Got to thank all my guys. They're the ones that really been keeping me up front. I just get good starting positions. Hopefully we'll get a victory soon and keep Delco and Remy up front all year.
Well, your chances might be good here at Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. Your career high last year, second place.
Yeah, it's definitely been through my mind a couple times. Definitely Brad Furr's been in my mind a couple times. He stole a race from me off the start last year, and hopefully we can do better and put it up front and in the victory circle this year.
We've only scratched the surface of the World of Outlaws season. We've got lots of surprises left. The action coming up next. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track for the NGK Shootout. Heat number 1 about ready to begin. 10 cars, 8 laps. The top 6 drivers getting the transfer to the A main. On the pole, Darren Pittman. Alongside him is Randy Hannigan. The King is in row 2. Steve Kinzer, who's won about everything this year but a qualifying heat. Next to him is Brett Tatnall. Row 3, Craig Kinzer and Kerry Matson. Matson posting the fast time and qualifying with a 14-second lap. Row 4, Craig Delansky and Paul McMahon. Row 5, Brian Brown and Cody Branchcombe. And we're set to go for heat number 1 from Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track. Pittman to the inside, Hannigan up high, Kinzer down low. Look at Hannigan on the outside. Coming out of turn 4, Pittman trying to go wheel to wheel, but Hannigan records the lead on the lap.
Yep, Hannigan, that momentum on the outside, it's a long way around, but look right there, that's the speed coming off the corner. Pittman just spinning his tires.
Hannigan hasn't raced since posting a 17th in Las Vegas. His best on the season. He is in the lead, number 1X.
I tell you, he's looking good all over the racetrack, too. He's running the top down there. He's running the bottom in 3 and 4.
A good challenge for second place as Darren Pittman and Steve Kinzer go at it right behind this number 1, Randy Hannigan. It's Pittman, you see down low, and Kinzer battling it out for second. Here comes Kinzer. Actually now a 3-way battle for second place. Top 6 cars transferring to the main event.
Boy, there's a good shot of that shiny track right there in the middle. That's where they don't want to run.
Pittman running up high.
Oh,
and here comes Pittman on the outside trying to take over Hannigan. Something wrong with Hannigan?
Yeah, I'd say there's something wrong there, Art. Hannigan's slowing really fast. I don't know what's wrong with that race car, but he's definitely slowing down.
He's down below, and Kinzer will move into second place pretty soon out of turn 2, we anticipate. But there's our new leader, Darren Pittman.
Well, now it looks like Hannigan's kind of picked up the pace a little bit. You'll see him right there holding off Steve Kinzer by a little bit.
2 laps to go for Darren Pittman. Hannigan moving back into second place. You see him there with Kinzer in 3rd. Tapnell in 4th. Kinzer down below on Hannigan.
Yeah, Hannigan's so dominant those first few laps. That car's slowing. I mean, he couldn't hold it tight to the bottom, as you can see there. Steve Kinzer got under him and drove by easily.
Craig Kinzer and McCann in 4th and 5th. With Delansky in 6th. And he's got a good pad. The checkered flag waving. Here's the official finishing order. Pittman, Steve Kinzer, Hannigan, Tapnell, Craig Kinzer, Paul McMahon, Craig Delansky, Brian Brown, Kerry Matson, and Cody Branchcombe yet to qualify.
You start on the pole, a little bit of action back and forth, but you're able to capture the victory there in heat number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you start on the pole in a heat race, and to be honest with you, we haven't used the bottom yet, so I knew it was so greasy, and it's almost a bad feeling not really knowing where to go being in the first heat. It's good to be able to watch one and see what looks to be the best line, but you know, we were a little slow early, and the car's still not real great yet, but we'll work on it and hopefully come from the back of the dash.
Heat 2 consists of a junior in high school on the pole, Brandon Wimmer. Next to him is Dean Jacobs. Row 2, rookie Jonathan Allard and Brian Paulus, a one-time winner last year. Row 3, Tyler Walker, and a winner of round 2, Jason Myers. Back in row 4, Aaron Berryhill out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and Danny Lasowski. Former 3-time winner champion Sammy Swindell and Travis Ralott from Forney, Texas. In the back row, we're underway. Number 5, Tyler Walker battling it out with Wimmer.
And Tyler Walker came from the 3rd row, Art. Now look at this, Wimmer not giving up though.
Look at Paulus. Paulus trying to join the group. Number 28, sandwiched between Wimmer and Walker. Number 28, Paulus, who's won one qualifying week. Wimmer losing the end of it.
Boy, I tell you what, Brian Paulus is pumped up now to go 3 wide, to split those guys in the middle. Saw Tyler Walker take a big push, and Brian Paulus is taking advantage of it.
The Mechanics third, Pennsylvania lad is pulling a good lead now as Jason Myers is making a play there in the black car for second place.
And you can see what happened to Jason Myers there in the slick part of the racetrack. Spun the tires. Tyler Walker's car is too tight. He's got a big push. You watch the front tires. He's turned left. Car means way too tight for him.
Walker getting Guy Forberg's team off to an awesome start this season, taking the points lead with 3 top 5 performances in the first 3 races.
There's another shot again. You can see Tyler Walker turning the car to the left. That means the car's way too tight.
Paulus making a good run of it. He'll cross the finish line for 5 laps.
Well, nothing wrong with that race car at this point. Man, like anywhere he wanted to run. Again, Tyler Walker started 3rd row, had a great start, great first corner. I mean, he's in a transfer position. That's what he wants to do. So they'll go back and work on that race car.
If Paulus can hold on to this lead in the qualifying heat, he will take the actual statistical lead in qualifying heat wins this year. This would be his 3rd. But it looks like Tyler Walker doesn't want to let him off the hook, and we've got a crash out of turn 4.
Dean Jacobs, and it looks like Wimmer. That's Dean Jacobs in the black car upside down.
That'll bring the red flag out. Okay, we're getting set now for the restart. 6 laps complete. That means a 2-lap dash for these guys. Paulus, number 28, that lead car with Walker, Myers, and Sammy Swindell. He came from the last row, Brad.
Sure did, man. He slipped. We had such a good race up front. He come battling his way up through from the back there. Got in a transfer spot.
He's in 4th with Lasowski in 5th. Relat is on the bubble with Barry Hill behind him, and we're underway for 2 laps. Paulus got a good jump, but look at Walker down below.
But look how much racetrack he lost there by sliding up across the black, and Paulus able to pull away.
Dean Jacobs' car was destroyed. Joe's Coffee car is out of the race, but Wimmer's car went to the work area, and he had to join the group in the tail. That's where he is right now, and we're on our last lap with a good battle for second place. The checkers are waving, and Paulus takes it with Myers in 2nd, Walker in 3rd, Sammy Swindell in 4th, Lasowski in 5th.
You're able to pick up a victory coming from the 2nd row.
Yeah, I mean, the track's pretty wide open right now. There's a good groove on the bottom, it looks, in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I think you're going to have to be really good on the bottom. The top, I think, is good the whole way around. So if the top speed can stay high enough for the feature, you know, I think all night long you'll be able to run up there. And, you know, there should be a lot of passing in the feature.
We'll be wrapping up our qualifying heats and check out the best of the best in the 5-lap twin dashes when we return. This is the World of Outlaws on the Outdoor Channel's Wednesday Night Horsepower.
All you have to do now is get rid of your old grill. Charbroil, keepers of the flame.
A great crowd on a wonderful evening. We're back with the World of Outlaws from Fort Worth, Texas. The cars are on the track for Heat 3. 8 laps, the top 5, top 6 qualifying for tonight's main event. On the pole is Blake Mallory, a local driver out of Joshua, Texas. Next to him on the outside is Tony Lutar. Row 2, Aaron Crocker and Joey Saldana. Saldana has changed the number. He's changed the teams. He's 50D right now, not number 17 that he started the season with. In row 3, Shane Stewart, the winner this year at Thunder Valley, Louisiana. And Jason Sides. Row 4, Donnie Schatz, the 2nd in the points, and Tim Schaefer 3rd in the points in that same row. Row 5, Jason Sowald and Brian Carlson. What's running through their mind right now, Brad?
Boy, just try to get a good jump and hope that the engine doesn't stutter or stumble when they go green.
Guys up front kind of controlling the pace.
They got to be side by side when they get to that line. It's close enough.
Oh, really tight through that first turn. Mallory down below. Up top, though, Tony Lutar. Lutar showing his experience.
Yeah, and they about touched there, just again, about touched wheels. And Aaron Crocker, the 2nd row, didn't get a good start at all, falling back.
She's in 6th spot, and in danger of losing that as we see Lutar. There's Schatz, number 15 in the yellow car. Whoa, he goes sideways. He's battling for second place right now.
Boy, and Joey Saldana in the 50 car right behind him, about running the side of Mallory. Really had to check the brakes, and there's Mallory loose. Saldana's got that run again on the outside, but boy, he about run right in the side of Mallory the lap before.
So the veterans taking advantage of the younger Mallory here in lap 2 as we're in lap 3 with Lutar out in front.
Boy, got a battle back and forth at 5th. Jason Sides there. There he is.
Number 7 in the white car trying to pass Mallory.
What he did, he had a good run down there in turns 2 and got by, but they slid high a little bit.
Oh, Mallory almost came up high to clip Stewart.
Tim Schaefer, another guy that qualified a little bad, started in the back. He's back there battling, trying to get through.
So right now you see Lutar, then it's Schatz, Saldana, Sides, Schaefer, and going down low is Stewart, right there, number 4, trying to take advantage of the up high. Oh, what a battle with Schaefer and Stewart now, those two.
Well, if Shane Stewart can hold the bottom right there. Oh, and Schaefer able to squeeze by and shut the door on him, and you can see what that does. Shane Stewart had to get on the brakes, get out of the throttle, and slid across the track. Man, that really messes your momentum up when a guy takes the front end like that, cut your groove off.
White flag is out for 4X Tony Lutar. This would be his first qualifying win of the year should he take the checkered flag. He's looking at it now. Tony Lutar. Schatz in 2nd. Saldana in 3rd. Sides in 4th. Schaefer in 5th. Stewart in 6th. Those will be our qualifiers. I gave you a little hint earlier for today's Tech Tip. Brad Doty earlier this afternoon caught up with the NGK guys.
You're going to hear me talk a lot about how critical it is to fuel a sprint car. If you get it too rich, it won't run. If you get it too lean, you can burn a piston. An important part of that is the spark plug. I'm here with Mike Schwab with NGK Spark Plug. What's new in the world of spark plugs, Mike?
Well, without a doubt, Brad, the biggest change in the world of spark plugs is the advent of the material iridium. Iridium is a metal that we use in our NGK iridium spark plugs in the center electrode, and quite simply it allows us to concentrate the center electrode diameter to less than 1 millimeter. Can't do that with platinum, can't do it with nickel, you can't do it with any other material. Iridium is the only material right now that we know of that allows us to do that. It makes for a much more efficient spark, whether it's for your everyday driver or any of these race cars right here. Flame propagation is better than any other material used in spark plugs today.
Mike, you mentioned platinum. How does this compare to the longevity of the platinum plug?
Brad, both platinum and iridium are precious metals, and both do provide long life. Over that life, though, the iridium spark plug, by design, is a smaller center electrode, so it's a more efficient life than platinum.
Thanks, Mike.
So you see some of the sellout crowd here at Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track leaving for a little refreshment or possibly a souvenir as we have a break in the action. We'll be back with the Twin Dashes in a moment. Art Eckman and Brad Doty in Fort Worth, Texas with the World of Outlaws. In our first 5-lap dash, row 1, Brian Paulus, Craig Kinzer. Could be a nice little battle in the front row. Row 2, Shane Stewart and Jason Myers. Row 3, Steve Kinzer and Tony Lutar. Row 4, Donnie Schatz and Danny Lasowski. Once again, seasoned veterans in the back of the pack, hoping to weed their way through in only 5 laps. The first dash helping to determine the pole. And inside row starting positions, we're underway. Brian Paulus gets the edge out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Number 28. Paulus with a good jump. And there's Craig Kinzer, number 11K, right behind him in second place. Boy, Schatz, Lasowski, Steve Kinzer, they only have 5 laps to make an impact from the back 2 rows.
That's Craig in second right there.
Paulus, Craig Kinzer, Stewart, and Myers goes down below. Myers battling for second place. You just saw him in the back of your picture as Craig Kinzer got a great leap in this race.
Yeah, there it is, right through the middle, and Shane Stewart there. Little trouble at the start. Looks like he took a big push and kind of gathered it up now, but Myers has a run possibly on the outside.
Paulus is battling for his second pole of the year. White flag for Paulus. Paulus, Craig Kinzer, Stewart, Myers, Steve Kinzer, Schatz, Lasowski, and Lutar. The checkered flag is out, and the checkered flag is waving for Paulus. Craig Kinzer, a great second place finish in the dash for Kinzer. Shane Stewart holding true in third place, Brad.
Yeah, coming off that win recently, his only World of Outlaws win, so have a pretty good starting spot in the A-Main.
Craig Kinzer, his career high, a second place finish last year in a main event here at Texas Motor Speedway dirt track, and he puts himself in good position for the start of the main event.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this is probably his favorite racetrack. You know, after a second spot, here he finds himself in a dash.
Surprisingly, I felt better in the dash than I did in the heat race, and I thought we were pretty good in the heat, so it seems to me like we're building the speed up as the night goes on, and you know, 30 laps is a long time, but we've run good here before, and we've been running good all season, so we'll see what happens.
Just a slight breeze here in Fort Worth, Texas, as we get set for our second dash, and the lineup on the pole, 50D with that new number, Joey Saldana. Number 66, Brooke Tatnall out of Australia, also in that front row. Tyler Walker and Jason Sides in row 2, with Randy Hannigan and Darren Pittman in row 3. In row 4, Paul McMahon and Tim Schaefer. This should be a very, very competitive dash for the lineup in the main event on the outside row. There you see Saldana in the dark red, number 50 on the pole. The green flag is out, and our 5-lap dash is underway. How would they line up on the outside in that main event? Saldana wants to be in that front row, but look at here's Tatnall. Tatnall, the only Australian to win a World of Outlaws event, is right behind him in second, trying to make a move down the straightaway. He'll go low.
And takes the lead right there out of turn 2. Put a slide job on Saldana.
Walker moving into third. You see him there with the orange number on the high side. And down below is Jason Sides with Darren Pittman right behind him.
Oh, look at this. Back for the lead. Tatnall on the outside, goes around Saldana.
Tatnall trying to hold on. He completes his third lap. 2 more to go for Tatnall. Boy, Tatnall has been impressive. He started the season late. And there is Sides and Walker. Walker taking advantage into third place. The white flag is out. Saldana clearly in second. Walker in third. And a big battle for fourth. Pittman and Sides, as we say, our leader. The checkered flag is out for Tatnall. And Tatnall will win it. Saldana second. Walker third. Pittman fourth. Sides fifth. McMahon sixth. Schaefer in seventh and Hannigan in eighth as the checkered flag is waving. I think they were just making sure that they had enough laps in on that one.
Yeah, you always want to make, sometimes you take an insurance lap and make one more, especially when you're leading the race. You want to make sure you saw that checkered flag.
Brian Brown getting ready for the final phase of qualifying, the last chance to make the field for several of these teams. You're watching the World of Outlaws on the Outdoor Channel's Wednesday Night Horsepower, presented by Optima Batteries. Welcome back to the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. It's time for the last chance qualifier, the B-Main. Here's the lineup. Row 1 on the pole, the number 55 of Terry Matson. Next to him, the First Lady of the World of Outlaws, Aaron Crocker. In row 2, Jonathan Allard and Dean Jacobs. Row 3, it's the 6M of Mike Mallory and the 7W of Brandon Wimmer. In row 4, Delansky and Berry Hill. Row 5, Brown and Stowald. And in row 7, it's Branchcombe and Carlson. So we're set for the last chance at getting into the main event. The green flag is out. Madman Matson leads the pack of 4 down the front stretch. Taking the lead is Jonathan Allard. Allard, number 35, in front of Wimmer. Delansky moving up. There you see him on the outside. Delansky with the challenge, number 7 in the VMAC machine. Delansky finding lots of traction down below, Brad.
Boy, he really is. He started 7th, man, and he's taking the lead. Just a couple of laps into the race. In 2 laps, he's going from 7th to the lead. That car is hooked up.
Jonathan Allard not letting him off the hook, though.
Boy, look how most of the guys are running around the bottom of the racetrack. There's still some moisture down. There's Dean Jacobs, who we saw crashed in the heat race that got the car back together.
How did they get that car ready?
I tell you, I don't know if they brought another car down or they actually fixed that one, but man, I tell you, these crew guys work so hard on these sprint cars.
Kerry Matson, the Australian, in 3rd. As we take a look at Delansky. Delansky is taking the lead, and he's out in front of Allard.
Boy, Aaron Crocker going right back. Dean Jacobs passed her. She didn't like that. Turned the car, was able to get back under. You see what happened there? Dean Jacobs got in, slid the car out, lost a lot of ground.
Halfway point of our B main.
Boy, in a sprint car like this, when you get in on the bottom like that, Art, and you have to lift the throttle considerably, you lose side bite, and the car just slides out from under you.
Top 6 drivers getting the transfer to the main event. A big lead now for Delansky. I'm not sure Delansky deserved being in the B feature, the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, it's one of those things, qualifying caught these guys, some of these guys off guard, got back in a heat race and that kind of thing, but man, he's working good right now.
Delansky with a huge lead on Jonathan Allard. There you see Allard, number 35. Matson is in 3rd. Crocker in 4th.
Now most of the cars, except down here in 3 and 4, have moved up down in 1 and 2. A lot of them were running the bottom of the racetrack. There's Craig Delansky, our leader. He's running all over the racetrack.
Barry Hill and Jacobs are just in the top 6.
Matson sliding up there. He's in 3rd, just kind of trying to hold on right now. Look at that, Delansky lapping cars. Boy, DJ Lindsay and the crew have that thing on fire right now. He can just run anywhere.
He just blew by Brian Carlson. The white flag is out for Delansky.
Boy, lost a lot right there, got real sideways, but he's way ahead. It's not going to lose any positions for it, but he did the smart thing. He's been running the top. He saw the white flag. He moved down to try the race car to see where it's working.
And the checkered flag for Delansky out of Elk River, Minnesota. Delansky, Allard, Madsen, and it looked like Barry Hill, Crocker, and Hannigan.
Well, Craig, you transferred to the A main, a commanding performance for you in that B main. Everything was going right for you in that one.
Yeah, I tell you what, we started off a little rough there in qualifying. We drew a late number and went out late, and track slowed down quite a bit. But, you know, and we had a very struggling race car in the heat race there and didn't get through that. So we actually needed that B main to get our stuff set up here for the feature.
Well, it might be fun in the big race watching Delansky charge through the pack. Brian Paulus is on the pole. Stay with us. The A main is next.
All work, no play. Work.
Cars have qualified for the right to earn championship points in the big bucks. 30 laps of survival at top speeds. Let's check out the lineup for tonight's main event. On the pole, Brian Paulus. In that first row next to him, Brooke Tatnell, both looking for their second career victories. In row 2, Craig Kinzer, his career high, a second place here. Joey Saldana, a new number and a new car. In row 3, Shane Stewart looking for his second win in 3 races. Alongside him, Tyler Walker. In row 4, Jason Myers and Dermot Pittman. Pittman with the one-lap record here at this track. Steve Kinzer's won twice at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. He's in row 5 alongside Jason Sides. Row 6, number 15, Donnie Schatz looking for a breakthrough as he's second in points. Paul McMahon also in row 6. In row 7, 2 wins at this track, Danny Lasowski along with Tim Schaefer. In row 8, Tony Letard and Randy Hannigan. In row 9, Kerry Madsen and Aaron Crocker. In row 10, Jonathan Allard and Dean Jacobs surviving that crash earlier alongside Allard in row 10. In row 11, Craig Delansky and Aaron Berryhill. And in the last row, Sammy Swindell, the former 3-time champion, and Travis Relat. 30 laps of action on this 4/10 of a mile oval. And I guess the guys to watch, not only the leaders, but Delansky and Swindell as they take their veteran type driving skills and try to come up through the pack.
Yeah, starting in the back there, and we saw what Delansky did in the B main. In only 2 laps, he went from 8th to the lead. He was very dominant in that race. We'll see if he can bring that car back up through this race like he did in the B main.
There's Delansky in the VMAC number 7 machine. Right alongside him, 29, but Berryhill, number 97, will be behind when they actually get in their order. They're getting in order right now.
It's a good shot of the wing angles. These cars are running a lot more wing angle now that they've taken the wicker bill off the top of them.
Paulus, his 2nd pole of the year. Number 28, the white car, the green. As they start to put it on, the green flag is out. Craig Kinzer on the inside. On the outside is Paulus. Paulus settling into 2nd place behind the rookie Craig Kinzer. He's looking for his first World of Outlaws victory.
Well, as you said earlier, his best finish is a 2nd here. He's trying to bring that thing into a win as Paulus battling back on the inside.
Paulus moves to 2nd. Craig Kinzer in 1st. Tatnall in 3rd. Don't leave Tatnall out in 30 laps.
Craig's dad, Steve, there, he's probably looking up there a little bit, looking after his son, but right now he's got his own race.
He's in 7th place right now and quite a ways behind as Craig Kinzer knocks off another lap. A good low line for he and Tatnall, and it looks like that they're leaving Paulus, but Paulus on the backstretch catches up with him.
Shot of Craig Kinzer there. Car looks a little bit loose. The problem with him leading from the first lap like this, the racetrack is going to change a lot. He's going to have to be careful and look around on the racetrack and try to really feel that race car and know where the fast line's at.
Craig Kinzer in the Delco Remy International.
Another thing is, as the track dries out, he's going to have to try to be smooth on the throttle and not get the car, not spin the rear wheels and not get it too sideways and get those rear tires too hot. We got somebody, so Jonathan Allard.
Somebody in the, yes, it's Jonathan Allard, number 35. And the yellow flag is out, the former Silver Dollar Speedway champion in the year 2000. Okay, we're getting set for the restart now. Craig Kinzer, number 11K, and Tatnall, number 66. Paulus in 3rd place as we're ready to go. Green flag is out. Delansky has already picked up to 14th, whereas Lasowski has faded a bit. Craig Kinzer.
Yeah,
there's Delansky making his way past 2 more cars. Looks like he's on Stewart. McMahon is next. Oh,
yeah,
Schaefer.
Yeah,
he just passed Schaefer.
This goes by Schaefer again. That car's working well as he was. Look at that, and just leaves Schaefer and goes right up on the shots. Man, that car is hooked up. Look at that, passing cars so easily as he goes by Tyler.
Delansky, with some great power showing us in the B feature, is now right behind Paul McMahon.
You know, and
here comes Walker to the outside, number 5.
What happened, Craig Delansky missed the bottom just a little bit there, and you can see what happens. You miss it by just a couple of inches, and man, as he goes back by Walker down there, those guys got a great battle going on.
There's our leader once again. So far, clear in front of him for about a quarter of a lap.
Yeah, what he would like, Craig Kinzer, our leader, is to just run right there and keep green as long as he's not up to lap traffic. Probably for him, the best thing might be to have a yellow to get the clear track in front of him, but right now he's doing a great job, Art.
Well, he was very frustrated last year that he lost that victory because he thought it had it in his hip pocket. There's Delansky as he tries to move up another notch.
Yeah, there he is moving forward, trying to get by him. McMahon, again, slid up across the track, lost a little bit of ground. But boy, he was really fast down here. This is where he's dominant, right there in 3 and 4.
Took a middle groove before sliding up high.
Look at that. Tatnall closing in a little bit on Craig Kinzer.
They're approaching traffic. There's Hannigan.
Boy, Craig getting a little bit loose there, Art. He's going to have to be careful. Going into 1, he's going in a little high off the bottom. I think he better tuck it down just a little lower as he gets in right there. Look at that. He's leaving the door open for every lap for Brooke Tatnall. Now, Tatnall, a little bit of a mistake. He had to get off the throttle when Craig come down, slid up. But Craig Kinzer's going to have to slow down and get tighter getting into the corners. He's leaving the door wide open.
Craig Kinzer And Tatnall getting by Aaron Crocker. Number 16. There's Tatnall.
And that was a good shot. I'm sure that Craig Kinzer saw him there. Tatnall was up far enough beside him. Look at that. Look at that. Woke Craig up a little bit. He is on the gas now as he's pulling away again.
Jonathan Allard down low, and Craig Kinzer puts a lap on him. We're 16 laps into this race. Tatnall, number 66. Tatnall winning at Jetmore last year. We've already mentioned he's from Australia and the first winner from Australia on this circuit. He's made a big impression over the last 2 races, as we mentioned, too. Thunder Valley, a 4th place, up to 3rd. Can he make it a 2nd or a win here tonight?
Craig's still doing what he needs to do.
Oh, and that's Delansky. More tough luck for Craig Delansky. When we return to green, Craig Kinzer will lead the restart. Stay with us.
Call now.
Welcome back to the World of Outlaws from Fort Worth, Texas. Earlier we mentioned that Shane Stewart won his very first World of Outlaws main event just 2 races ago. Let's learn more about this articulate young man in this week's World of Outlaws driver profile.
7 years old. My dad raced when he was a young guy. My grandpa got him started. And my dad raced around home, Tulsa, Oklahoma for a while. And then once I progressed into the sport and got into 250 micros, my father retired and left it to me and my brother to get the Stewart name, you know, to wherever it may end up. Who knows? The track I grew up on, they don't even race sprint cars anymore. So, you know, I mean, there's always a lot of people from Oklahoma that come to this weekend, you know, to check out the sprint cars and the Winston Cup races. So if we could win tonight, I'd tell you why, that'd be really cool. There's a lot of great sprint car drivers that's come out of Oklahoma. Broken Arrow is just probably 20 minutes up the road, or not even that far, actually. Andy Hillenberg, Lance Blevins, Stevie Smith resides there now, and you know, there's been a lot of good sprint car drivers come out of Oklahoma. So I'm happy to say I'm an Oklahoman. To say that you have a World of Outlaw win, I mean, there's a lot of guys that I race with that's raced numerous years, you know, more years than I have, and hasn't won one, and it's cool, you know, and I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but the competition is unbelievable. You know, I mean, there's 15 teams out here that can win any given night, and to win a race with these guys, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, every night could be a different winner. Old Glory, best energy drink in America. They just stepped on board with the men team, and they've been a great asset. You know, my car owner, Scott Chokut, he's really up on the marketing part of motorsports, and to introduce Carson in the Old Glory gang to the sprint car world has been really cool. And Carson hopefully will make it here tonight for the first race, the sprint car race he's seen here at Texas Motor Speedway. And we look forward to having a long and successful relationship with Old Glory Energy Drink. So I told myself I'd like to win 4 World of Outlaw main events. We've got one early in the season, so that's good. I told myself I'd like to win 25 total races, and to exceed a certain amount of earnings for my, you know, for personal. And if I can reach the 4 Outlaw wins and get the 25 A-main wins throughout the year, I'll be happy.
We're lined up and ready to go. Craig Kinzer, number 11. K, our leader. Allard is between Tatnall and Kinzer as we get set to look for a green flag this time around. Craig Kinzer. Tatnall going down low. Number 66.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm thinking Craig Kinzer might have a right rear tire going down, or it looked like that bleeder, which they'll bleed off on these yellow flags. So if he can keep going, he might be okay, but the tire looks like it's a little bit low. As long as they can keep up the speed, he might be able to hold off.
Boy, it does look low. What a bad break that would be. Tatnall moves into second place. Kinzer just trying to hold on.
Well, if it is low, if he can just stay green and not have any more caution flags, he can maybe hold off.
Is that possible?
Well,
19 laps complete.
Yeah, well, we'd have about 15 or 16.
Oh, that engine blows.
Second place to Tatnall.
Tatnall.
Well, It's good for Craig Kinzer that second place might be out, and you see a fire under there. That's an oil fire. But what's bad, if Craig Kinzer does have a tire going down, this yellow could make it go flat.
Can the rookie Craig Kinzer win his first World of Outlaws main event? We'll be right back with the last 10 laps. We're back with the main event action from Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track. There's Craig Kinzer as we restart with 10 laps to go in our 30-lap main event. 20 completed is the official count. Craig Kinzer getting the good start. The lap car, Hannigan, and Paulus is in second place, number 28. There's 28 with Hannigan up high, but I believe he's a lapped vehicle.
And Craig Kinzer, I thought that tire was going down. Looking at it closer on that restart, I don't think it is. He looks like he's in good shape. Rolling around the racetrack, pulling away from Brian Paulus. He looks in good shape right now.
That's Kinzer, our leader, with Paulus in second place, Shane Stewart in third, Myers in fourth, and Kinzer in fifth, it looks like, unofficially.
I'll tell you who's probably going crazy right now is Mom Dana Kinzer. You know, she's probably a nervous wreck down there watching Craig leading this and possibly winning his first Outlaws race.
You know, we want to thank, too, Jeff Gordon for dropping by the broadcast booth during a break of the action. He said, this is as good as it gets. He gets excited about dirt track racing.
Yeah, he was up here in a baggy old T-shirt and a hat trying to just come over here and enjoy the races and spend some time with the sprint car guys. And that's the neat thing about us getting a race with the Winston Cup weekend. Those guys get to come and see us run, and we get to go see them run a little bit.
He'll be starting ninth in the big race, NASCAR race. He loves this action, as we do, too. Craig Kinzer stays up as high as he can. Paulus is down low, trying to make time with Jason Myers.
And Paulus is gaining on just a little bit. You'll see, you know, on Craig with only 5 laps to go.
Kinzer still moving high.
Paulus, here he comes, gaining on the bottom.
Craig Kinzer likes to come down toward the bottom in 3 and 4, but go up high in 1 and 2.
Well, what's going to have to happen here, Brian Paulus is going to have to make the pass clean. If he shows Craig Kinzer the bottom, Craig will get down there and probably block him.
Oh, wheel to wheel into 3. Paulus takes the lead away from Kinzer. Paulus down the backstretch to the inside of Aaron Crocker.
Oh, and he gets sideways on the lap car, and Craig Kinzer might be battling back.
1 lap to go. The white flag is out. It's for all the marbles now. Paulus on the inside. Paulus looking for his first victory here at Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track. The checkers are out. Brian Paulus the winner. Craig Kinzer in second place once again.
You said how he had the first one stolen away from him. It happens to him again.
Brian Paulus with his second career victory. Exciting the crowd here at Texas Motor Speedway. There he is, number 28, one happy young man. Craig Kinzer has got to be feeling very, very disappointed because he was running extremely well.
I'll tell you, what a heartbreaker. You know, and I said earlier in the race, Art, leading from the start, sometimes you don't know where the faster line is. As the race goes on, he got a little slower on the top, and boy, if he could have just saw somebody on the bottom or saw Brian Paulus's nose down there, if he'd have got back to the bottom and blocked him, he'd have been okay, but Brian snuck around him.
Let's take another look at the replay. Brian Paulus making the pass for the lead on Craig Kinzer. With 2 1/4 laps remaining between 3 and 4. He makes the right move, leading to his second career World of Outlaws win. Paulus in the winner's circle. When we return, we'll hear from the very happy winner. This is the World of Outlaws on the Outdoor Channel's Wednesday Night Horsepower, brought to you by Optima Batteries. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track. As Sparky gives him a big hug.
Good win for Brian Paulus. Boy, got to feel bad. Craig Kinzer just had 2 of them stolen away at this track, but man, a good year for Brian and his team.
The official results from the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. Brian Paulus, his first win of the year, second career victory. Craig Kinzer in second place. Jason Myers taking the remaining spot of the podium in third. Shane Stewart in fourth. Steve Kinzer in fifth. Jason Sides in sixth. Darren Pittman in seventh. In eighth, McMahon. In ninth, Schaefer. And Saldana rounds out the top 10. What was interesting, I thought, Brad, was Swindell coming all the way from 23rd to 11th place.
Yeah, good run for him. Started in the back and definitely worked his way up in a hurry.
Disappointing, though, for Lasowski.
Yeah, they've struggled all night long. I don't know whether changing from that IROC car had him off a little bit tonight or what, but they did struggle all night long.
And then Tatnall and Delansky.
The disappointment of the night, Tatnall running second, blowing that engine, and again, Delansky moving up through, stopped out of turn 2.
Let's hear from the excited winner, Brian Paulus.
This just happened to be a Brian Paulus weekend. Not only do you pick up a heat victory, a dash victory, you cap it off here with your first main event win of the season. Has to be just an ecstatic moment for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we worked so hard in the last couple seasons to get back on track and to be a winning team. And, you know, last year we picked off a win up in Hartford, Michigan. And, you know, this year, just everything, like I said earlier, it's been clicking. The car's been good. The guys have been great. I mean, we haven't had any failures to this point. And, you know, consistency is, you know, the easiest way to win races.
Steve Kinzer with his 5th place finish in tonight's race, but he added to his points lead. He leads Schaefer in shots by 70 points. They're in the tie for 2nd place. Paul McMahon in 4th. Brian Paulus moved from 7th to 5th with his win here this evening. 6th, Danny Lasowski. Craig Kinzer up to 7th. Darren Pittman 8th. Jason Myers and Jason Sides rounding out the top 10.
Craig Kinzer's going to replay this race over in his mind a few times tonight, I bet, even though second is a hard-earned finish in this sport. Craig did add to his lead for the Kevin Gobrick Rookie of the Year award. He now has a 161-point lead on Jonathan Alley.
Time to close the books on another round of the World of Outlaws. This is Art Ekman for Brad Doty, thanking you for joining us from the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track in Fort Worth, Texas. Our next round, Eldora Speedway, Rossburg, Ohio. You've been watching the World of Outlaws exclusively on the Outdoor Channel's Wednesday Night Horsepower, brought to you by Optima Batteries. So long, everybody.